you know, I was close with Nazizi, very like she was a sister to me. So because we wanted to be part and parcel of the music industry, we were the people who used to look out from Kono working on Nazizi. Like if there's a concert, say in Baitalia, we're the ones who go with the speakers, we're the ones who are the radio calls, Tiger 1, Tiger 2, Tiger 3, report them, okay. Yeah, artists are coming in right now, you know. So we work closely, voluntary, you know, without no pay. We work closely with Kina Nazizi, like we used to help them set up their shows and stuff, you know. And then also through that, you know, like we got a chance to start doing recordings. You know, Ted Josiah had a studio called Blue Zebra, I think.
But even before Blue Z, I want to touch on when I first met you.
Yeah.
Because now, this is a behind the scenes side of you that people don't know.
Yeah.
Two things. You're already a celeb.
Yeah.
So even before now you're doing this, entering the studio.
Yeah.
I lived maybe
200 meters
200 meters away from you.
Yeah.
And I'd also gone to Brisbane, but I came to Brisbane immediately you left.
Yeah.
So, but then now we're introduced by a mutual guy who was in Brisbane. And then that's how we became tight and everything. But you would come to my digs and you'd just be rapping. We'd just record songs and you rap the whole tape.
Yeah.
We put that tape into your car.
Yeah.
That's when you bought the new car, which had your own name.
Yeah. No.
Oh, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so anyway.
Actually, now that you touched on that, maybe I fast forwarded too soon.
Yes, you've jumped a lot.
Yeah. When we moved to Casablanca, right? I was driving the Hyundai. I had the blue Hyundai, the one like for the carouse.
Yeah.
And you know, now that you brought it up, my brother, let me just carry on with it. So there was this specific girl who we went to Brisbane with, and you know, the lady, she used to love watching that program called Friends, and she was a pointy shorty. You remember? I don't want to mention names, but yeah.
I'll beep it. It's that one.
Yeah. So we used to go pick up me, you, and then you know, when we get gate, I look at you like dozens of, my guy, you're still here. So you hop in the back, bro. You know? And then you know, you used to ask me, you're like, bro, but how come Maze, your kitty, it lalas chini like that, remember? So we'd pick up, we'd go to your house, and the setup at your house was a keyboard, and we had two tenjes, two boom boxes.
Yeah. So
this one plays whatever it plays, and then this one records.
Yeah.
You know, and actually,
a PSR 520.
Yeah.
Gituras.
Gitura
can be, yeah.
Yeah. Gitura.
Yeah.
Gitura or Gitura? Gitura, yeah. So, you know, that was now me fresh from Langata. You know, this is now before the necessary noise. You're right, I jumped a whole lot. And you know, to be honest with you, I used to look forward to each and every day because I knew we'd wake up, I'd come to yours, and the rest is just history. Niku rap. Siku inaisha, back digs, you go and play back what we used to listen to. And for the information, for the record, you know, a lot of people who don't know you, you know, during that period in time, that's also one of the moments that helped to curve and make Prezo the artist that he is today, you know, because I learned a lot. You know, before I used to rap people's music.
Yes.
Like say Tupac songs or Snoop Dogg. But you see, when we linked up together now, I said, no, we need to actually use our own lyrics, you know, and we'd start writing lyrics, unajua, do songs halfway, finish them off, baadaye. But, you know, as we carried on with that movement, you know, that's when now, again, the old lady hit me with a surprise. She came and said, I think tomorrow tomorrow we'll go. You remember Apo Nyayo Stadium?
Yeah.
Nyayo Stadium, they used to have motis for sale every Sundays. So my lady said business was doing very good. She told me, tomorrow actually wake up early and then we can meet where T-Mall is now. She's like, we meet there and then we'll go to Nyayo Stadium. You look for a car for yourself. I couldn't believe it, my man. You see the Hyundai and the Honda.
Yeah.
The Honda, you know, like it had stayed for some time. Then my cousin Ray wanted it, so I gave it to Raja. So I'd use the Hyundai most of the time.
Yes. One was maroon, eh?
No.
Or green.
It was green.
Green.
It was green, yeah.
Yeah, green.
That was the Muso. The Muso was green. So that's when she bought me that Starlet, you know. And this Starlet, you know, I was off the roof with the Starlet because it was all just a dream come true. You know, like I was like, man, you know, niko na hivi na vile. And then I started now doing flying school at CMC.
Yes. You had skipped a lot.
Yeah, I'd skipped a lot, you know. So I remember the flying school, you know, I used to go to CMC flying school with that Starlet now. The Starlet and everything, then now the Starlet, I started souping it up. So when I see people nowadays putting their names on a number plate, I'm like, my friends, you know, I did this way back then. This is like maybe what, 99, 2000.
Yep.
I had Ngechu.
Ngechu, yes.
Yeah.
As your number plate.
As my number plate, you know.
And the reason why I brought this up is by the time for me now you are becoming Prezo, a celebrity, I'm like, Jackso was already a celebrity in Electric Avenue, in the club.
It's
Do you get what I
strong.
mean? So it was already
And the pool bar.
Yeah, and also, for me, this is the moment when the name CMB comes through. Because it was Reje,
Firoz, rest in peace.
Firoz, there was Stausi.
Stausi.
With Stausi. So you had already
Oscar.
you already become this clique of CMB even before the music.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your party life, and by that I mean that celebrity life, because you said you always wanted to be a celeb, and CMB together.
Yes, that's very true. And you see, CMB, you know, CMB came from a movie that was shot by Spike Lee, right? In mid-80s. The movie was called New Jack City. And Wesley Snipes was starring in it, you know. It was one of the first black movies to be shot ever, you know. And in New Jack City, like Wesley Snipes and them, they called their crew CMB, Cash Money Brothers. And they had a slogan like, am I my brother's keeper? You see? So because of the lifestyle, because of our mind frame, like in Langata, we'd watch that movie like 50 times a day, literally, you know. I'd have my boys over, we'll watch that. And I tell my boys, I'm like, you see, one day this will all come to life, you know. But it won't come to life through the narcotics, because these guys were selling narcotics, you see. I said it'll come to life through music. So whatever we used to do, we used to emulate that movie, you know, and that's how the name CMB came about. So
who are the original ones?
The original ones was Ray, of course, because he's my cousin. Stausi. Me and Stausi were raised in Isli together. And then we moved to Langata together, you know. Raja, Stausi, Oscar, we used to live in Langata together. And then now, those were the original ones.
Yeah.
Raja, Oscar, Stausi, and there was this guy called Opkidi, a tall guy, but he passed on as well. And then now, Firoz, myself and Firoz used to be rivals since high school. We never used to see eye to eye because of same women problems. You know, like a woman goes and says, oh my God, you know that Prezo guy? So it built this kind of hate relationship between me and Firoz. Or a lady would come and say, oh my God, that guy in St. Austin's, Feroz. I'd be like, yo, Kwani, But now, the Kofi Annan was Nazizi.
How did you meet Nazizi? Because first of all, just also again as an interjection,
yes,
Blue Zebra that you're talking about was down the road from our house.
It was down the road.
It was literally down the road.
So you see, Nazizi, like our relationship started when we used to go for basketball tournaments. And myself and Nazizi used to compete who will have the latest sneakers. You see, so she was in St. Austin's, I was in Braeburn. So whenever we go for tournaments, I'd make sure, I have my freshest sneakers on. And Nazizi would make sure she has her freshest sneakers on so we can compete, And then when I was in Braeburn, I used to ask my friend to come drive the moti in the compound. Then I'd get into the trunk of the car. And then we'd drive outside the gate. So when he drives outside the gate, like 100 meters from there, he opens the trunk, I pull out, I sit in the front, we go to Sikin and Nazizi in their boarding blocks, in their hostels, which were in Runda. So that kind of relationship. So I tell Nazizi, I'll be like, my sister, and maze, ukiniona hapa jua yani wacha tu, because I had to get into the trunk of that moti. And ABCD. So we used to do that probably like twice a week. But I used to always dread the moment when I'd get busted, because me being expelled for the second time, isingeleta shangwe,
Yeah. And you didn't want to leave this holiday camp.
And I didn't want to, oh hell no. No. This holiday camp, I wasn't leaving it by hook or crook. So during high school, you see, I got to become close with Nazizi. Then now, when I had built now this CMB, we drove into Village Market. And then for the first time, Feroz told me, oh yeah, Mambo, Jackso.
Yes.
I was like, hey, Feroz is salimia me today. Okay. I was like, Freshie, come down. So he came down, we kicked it. And ever since that day, CMB, Feroz became the CMB vice president.
Yeah. And at this time, you're okay. So what happens when you hear Nazizi's first song? Because Nazizi, even before Necessary Noise, released this song.
Yeah, I was very ecstatic, and I was happy for her, because I was seeing like, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And keep in mind, if I'm not wrong, I think Nazizi shot this video in KBC.
Yep.
In VOK.
Yep.
You know how they have those green screens, mama, nataka kuwa rapper. But at that time, and she was getting the airplay. So I was really, happy for her. And I knew that, her being a sister, us guys, will be able to, do something in the near future. So, thank you for bringing it up, because it is true, my history. You know that we used to get into a club like this and we would shut the place down. As in takwele, maze ndio wale wa chizi. We'd pull up in Village Market and it would be a shutdown. We used to rub shoulders with chicks.
I remember you had a mobile phone back in the day.
I had a cell phone.
That you would put it on the screen.
I had a cell phone.
You've liked flossing for long.
I had a cell phone and I had a pager, remember?
Yeah.
I had a cell phone and a pager. So now you see, now that I'm being totally honest, this cell phone, nobody used to call me apart from the old lady, because nobody else had cell phones.
Yes.
And the pager, no one used to page me, because my friends, pages were mostly for doctors. So what I used to do is I used to call paging services with the cell phone. And I'd be like, pager number 4140. They'd be like, 4140, what's the message? I'd be like, ask him to call me. My name is Lawrence. My number is 0. As soon as I've said that, I come and chill with you guys now. I'm kicking it, then I just wait, I hear, tee, tee. I'm like, oh, guys, excuse me 1 minute. Kumbe ni mimi nimejipage, bro. I've just paged myself, you see.
For the flaws, but it worked. At that time, we're kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're teens.
Absolutely, it worked, and like even when now, like I don't want to fast forward.
No, it's okay. You can jump back.
Kwa hiyo, so when we did the music, your love is one of a kind. Your love is one of a kind.
I'm the one who sang that chorus, homie.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I find those MP3s so guys can hear how far you've come.
I pray to God. And there was that one, and there was this other one that used to murder me, of which I can redo it till today. That one of that shorty, her name was Anne, right?
Yes.
What?
Oh my God.
You remember?
Homie, I can't believe you remember that thing. I am blown.
Dimo, I can go on and on, bro.
What?
That was a banger,
Back then.
Yeah. So, like I already embraced that superstardom.
Sheesh. I can't believe you remember that thing. That's 1999.
Yeah. So that already, you see, molded me into being an artist, because you see, I could now structure words and make a song out of these words and, have a complete song. But then now, because I was doing flying at CMC Flying School, my mother told me, Maze, de wacha siku yenye nitasikia ati unaimba muziki sijui nini,
Yeah.
Me, one promise that I gave to you, Mzee, was I want you to finish your education. Once you're done with your education, the rest, whatever you want to do with yourself is really up to you, So as much as we're doing these songs, I used to do it below the radar.
Chini ya maji, yes.
Yeah, chini ya maji. So
that's why you never said we go to a studio.
No.
Because Prezo, let me be real. You had a lot of money. I remember when my dad would come and ask me, so your friend Jackson, your friend Jack, because you'd come to the house with a Muso, you had a Freelander, you had the Benz.
The Benz.
So my dad would ask me, so your friend Jackson.
Yeah. What exactly is his story?
What does he do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't know, you get. So going to a studio which was down the road to Josiah's, with Gitura, who's probably one of the best producers I've ever met in my life.
Today.
Yeah. It wasn't, you had the finances.
It's true.
So I wondered, how come you never said, let's go to a studio?
It's true. Because you see, number one, the old lady would have literally, it reached a point whereby I felt like Mom Dukes, she's always been there for me. So the time when I got expelled in Greensteads, her friends were telling her, huyu mpeleke shule hivi. Everybody had their opinions. But my mom, she stood her ground and she said, no, my son is not one to go to funny schools. You see?
Yeah.
So for that reason, I felt like, okay, I need to meet her halfway. That's why, like, the recordings that we did, we just used to listen to them ourselves. Bump them in the moti, And I enjoyed what I was doing. I loved flying,
Yeah.
So I said, let me just focus on this. And then after flying.
And you also had a discipline, because it doesn't matter whether we'd club on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday and Friday. Early morning you were up.
Yeah, I'm in school.
Yeah.
Ni kweli. And you remember that's when now also Daisy was in the picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even remember when the day you met Daisy.
You remember the day I met Daisy?
Zounds age. Zounds age.
You're gonna kill me, brother. So like with Daisy, those days, like there was this song by DMX. It was called "How's It Going Down." So there's nothing that used to drive goons who know what's up crazy like those pedal pushers. You remember the pedal pushers? So that time when we were kicking it like this, I saw a shorty with pedal pushers. I was like, okay, Richie, goddamn. So yeah, Daisy was in the picture, and
And Daisy was different.
In what sense?
In that you changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You changed.
Yeah, absolutely. I stopped being a kierere.
You stopped being a hoe. You changed.
I stopped being a rolling stone, you know. And because before, the truth is, everywhere I used to lay my hat would be my home. You know, it doesn't matter. So here I find this lady, you know, and then, you know, with the age at that time, like you just want to have one shorty, you know.
And let's tell guys, you're still in your teens.
I'm still in my teens.
Yeah, at this time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been talking for over an hour, but it's excellent because people understand your foundation.
It's true. You know, my only worry is, will they actually sit through this whole conversation?
Watch and see.
But then with the same breath, I say, it's Prezo. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So you know, when Daisy came along, there was a lot of discipline, you know, in the sense that nikacheo kuruka njia, you know, the HOE vile unasema. And I was just more focused. And then the fact that, you know, my mom got to know about Daisy and she liked Daisy. So that also solidified my relationship with her. Because, you know, she'd pull up to the house anytime.
Yeah.
You know, she'd...
You wouldn't come and see the boys no more.
I wouldn't see the boys no more, you know. And if there's anybody who's seen the best life, would be Daisy. Because Daisy, you know, during that period in time, you know that T.I. song, You Can Have Whatever You Like. Yeah. And then, so, you know, I'm still doing flying. I'm recording with you guys, right? And then out of nowhere, Daisy's mzee told Daisy, because, you know, she was doing French at Alliance Française. So I used to go pull up to pick her up, you know. Kumbe, there was somebody who was sent to know our whereabouts and our movements. So when the mzee got that copy, he said, you know what? I can't let my toi be aribishwed by these jamas who, I don't know, God knows what they do for a living. So because of the power that was there, she was just transported to Canada.
Yep. Oh, no.
The next day, she was told, you pack your stuff, you know, get ready. So she's like, okay, where are we going, you know? Now, Demze didn't want to speak about it because he knew that this guy is capable of following her wherever. So he didn't want to disclose where she's going to. Now, later on, the next day now, up until 6, she still doesn't know where she's going to. So I told her, it's fine, you know, even if it's going to be Alaska.
I'm coming,
you know. Wecha kufanya, just look for a school for me so that, you know, I can do the applications and whatnot. And at the end of the day, I'll be right behind you. So we even took her to the airport, you know, but in disguise, because the mzee did not like our brother's vibe, which you can understand.
And the mzee was a don.
The mzee was a don.
It wasn't somebody you want to mess up.
Yeah, you wouldn't want, it was Mr. Biggs, bro.
Yeah.
So that's how now my journey to Canada ended up.
Okay, this story is mind-blowing. And I love the fact that you've talked about Canada. Because me, I go to SA, you go to Canada.
Thank you.
Next thing, you're hitting me up. And this is to sort of bring people back to the music. Next thing, you're hitting me up. I started this website called Kenyan Madness.
Kenyan Madness, yes.
You know what I mean? Big deal.
Very big deal.
Because I'm in Prezo, I can big up myself.
No, it's the truth.
But for real, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And what I was doing on that website, the biggest thing was not pirating music. I tell people I was distributing Kenyan music for free, especially to an international audience.
Yes.
And I put up our old songs that we would do before.
Yes.
And then suddenly you hit me up and you send me this song.
Yes.
And this song is with one of my favorite musicians ever.
Yeah.
Wyre.
Yes.
I'm like, Prezo, you jumped into a studio.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the first time you entered to record.
Yeah. Now, you see, when I was working for my visa to go to Canada, I was very frustrated because, you see, like Daisy was the first.
You were following Daisy.
Yeah.
Hey bro, you're in love, man.
Yeah, it's true. That I cannot deny.
Yeah.
And you see, Daisy was the first shorty who, you know, like who stole my heart, you know.
A good one.
So within that period of time when I was working for my visa, you know, they gave me a span of 3 months, you know. And for me, my heart wanted to go to Canada so I can be with Shorty, and you know, my heart can be at ease.
Yeah.
You know? So, because also at that age, you know, like that's your first love, so you know, you want everything to happen just there and then. Now, between that interval and between that time is when I met up with Wyre. I told Wyre, I'm like, check this out. You know, me, I'm always a person of calculations. I knew that my mom already told me, the day I hear you singing, yeah, the day I hear tisiju na rap siju hizi vitu zenu, wewe. So I said, okay, cool. She doesn't want me to do this, but you know, there's ways that we can approach it. So I came up with a song that's dedicated to her. And I wanted her now to complain about the song because they even put a prayer at the end of the song.
Mama, Malaika Mama.
Malaika Mama.
You guys, you are insane.
So all that was strategic because because I've already been warned, you know. So if I came like ile,
excuse my fans, me one.
Excuse me, miss. Jina langu ni jina lako ni nani? Wewe, you know. So I thought about it, and I said, I mean, why not? I mean, you know, carry the zero. Put the song under her name. I mean, yeah, even Tupac did a song called Dear Mama. So what do? I go to Wyre.
And you were telling us that you used to now be the KYM for Necessary Noise.
Yes.
So of course you had then met with Wyre and Bamzi at that time.
Yes.
And Naz.
Yeah. Like they were very cool people. Like, you know, me and Naz, like I said, our relationship was from the word jump, you know. And then I came to meet Wyre. Bamzi was also part of the squad because, you know, that Ridgeway's posse,
yeah,
you know, Kina Styles as well. So, you know, we knew each other in those circles.
Yep.
So I told Wyre, I'm like, brother, you know, I have this idea, but I had just written the verses since day one. And the verses, mind you, were part of my strategy. My lady listened to that song and she forgot about me and music, and she started crying, bro. I'm like, booyaka. I hit the nail on the head with the hammer. She's like, baba, alafu unajua umeimba vizuri hata kwanza kwa hii maombi, because you know in Malaika Mama there's a part where I say, Mungu mbariki mamangu, mlinde kwa wakati wote na popote, mpe maisha na afya nzuri. You understand? So
yeah,
there was no way she was going to fight against that song.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, you know, I had that song with me.
So how has it been in the studio for the first time? But let me also say, Jackso, I've known you. You've always loved your mom.
Very much.
As much as it's calculated, it was also your heart.
Very much so.
It wasn't.
Very much
it
so.
was. There's nothing fake about that song.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And you see, even when I did the song, right, this was when I was buying time now, trying to kill this grace period that the embassy has given me.
Yeah.
So that was my first song, and being with Wyre, I rapped for Wyre the song, the verses, but I didn't have a hook for it. You know, so Wyre is the one who came up with that. Kwangu we ni malaika. Like I told him, I want this song to be called Malaika Mama. You know, so Wyre gave it a thought process. Then he came up with the hook. Kwangu we ni malaika mama, kukutumikia nimeapa. You know.
Kwangu we ni malaika mama, bila penzi lako sina raha. Kwangu we ni malaika mama, kukutumikia nimeapa.
since day one. Kabla ya kunizaa ulinibeba tumboni kwa miezi 9. Si utani moms, mimi nakupenda kila siku na kuombea uwe na maisha marefu, uone wajukuu hata vitukuu kama Robiseni. Mungu akubariki ili uzidi kuwa na afya nzuri na upate mazuri. Kweli jo, wahenga waliuliza ni nani jo, nani kama mama. Kweli jo, hamna kama mama. Believe me yo, I love my mama till the day I die, till my last breath. Kila siku naomba Lord nipe strength, nizidi kumpenda, nizidi kumtunza, nizidi kuyatenda yote alinifunza.
Mungu ni malaika mama, bila penzi lako sina raha. Mungu ni malaika mama, kukutumikia nimeapa.
Now, Prezo gave me, when he went to Canada, he gave me a song. And the
Yeah.
name of the song was Mama Malaika.
Yes.
Was that...
Malaika Mama.
Yeah, Malaika Mama, sorry. Featuring you.
Yeah.
Are you the one who produced that song?
It's one of the songs I produced, yeah.
And even Dij was in that song too, but backup vocal.
BBGVs. Yeah. And who produced it?
Wyre the Love Child.
Ooh, nice.
You know, one thing about Wyre is the fact that, you know, he saw something in me, artist-wise, which many people didn't see. Before that, we had done a song called CMB Who You Be. It was me, my CMB posse, that's Firoz, Kevin Stausi,
yeah.
Nazizi, Bamzigi, and Wyre.
Before
Malaika Mama.
Oh.
And the person who produced it was Ted Josiah. You know, the beat was crazy. You know, I look for the song in my archives, but you know, the beat was crazy. So all this, you know, we used to record these songs and bump them in the GT, in the Starlet.
In the car, yeah.
You know? So now, okay, that's said and done. So we used to do, you know, we'd help out with the shows for Necessary Noise. You know, we'd be there making sure that everything is in perspective and everything is on the same paragraphs, the same paragraph and same page. Then now I got my visa, so I told you guys, adios, man, me, I'm out.
I'm going
you
for
know?
love, man.
And you know, thugs need love too. Na nikirudi kwa hii nchi yenu tena huko Afrika vumbi, you know. So I went to Canada, you know, and you played a big role in this industry, you know, and I'll tell you why. When you did Kenyan Madness, I never expected Kenyan Madness to blow the way it blew out of proportion. You know, that was the best platform, me personally as Prez, niliwahi kupata yani. You know, those days I used to call myself Jackson J.
With Jackson J, with the rest of the whole crew.
Yeah, with the rest of the crew, you know. And so when you were in South Africa, I followed up on Kenyan Madness and I said, this is the right platform, you know. So I used to send you tracks, bro. I used to send you tracks. And you know, the good thing is, because us, we always had that brotherhood, as equal, maybe internet ndio ilikuwa inakuchelewesha, but they used to ruka ASAP, you know. And that's where I showcased most of my music. You inspired me to buy a studio in the crib now.
Yo.
I went, because, you know, I never like going to people, you know, I always like to have my own comfort space, you know. So I went to this store and I told this guy, I'm like, I want a home studio. Whatever, and you just come and fix it. I couldn't produce for nothing or to save my life. I told this guy, I'm like, I want a studio and we're working with that Edit Pro. I told him, I want you to show me when to record and when to pause and how to. So the rest I came to learn as time went by.
Yeah.
Cool Edit Pro.
Yes, Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah. So
So this one you're in Canada?
This was when I was in Canada.
Yeah.
So even remember the songs that I used to send you were beats that were done by, say, I'd buy an album for The Chronic, Dr.
Yep.
Dre, just the instrumentals. So I feed the instrumental into the Cool Edit Pro, and then
you,
I go
you rap.
Yeah. Hivyo nikaanza kujifunza ile to make beats, you know. I would make beats that are not even there, like kutum tum tik tum tum. But me, I'm feeling my shit, bro. I'm like, That time there's no rhythm. It's just it goes something like tu take it tu take it. I'm like, unasikia jiyo Raja take it. Now poor Raja, you know.
Oh, you went to Canada with Reggie?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, my mission was to move with the whole team. Kina Firoz.
Yeah.
I wanted to move with my whole squad. That time Kina Ronald Ngala were also part of the team, you know. So we tried out different. Ronald actually came to Canada with me, Ronald Ngala. Ray came to Canada with me as well, you know. Stausi asked for, no, my old lady saw if Raja and Ronald are in Canada with Ngechu, I take Stausi there, basically.
It's over.
It's over. So she said, no, Kevin, you'll go to Florida. Kevin's like, I'm in Canada. She's like, okay, pick there, I'm up at Michael.
He was out.
Kevin was like, sawa tu, umesema Florida, you know.
And it's your mom who...
Everything, you know, everything that I say here is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you see. So I'd ask Ray, I'd be like, Ray, unasikiaje yo? Then he'd hear, twen, 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 kutukutukum, twen. I'm like, Raja, unasikiaje yo? Anasema, iko sawa. Naambia ati, ni noma jo. Kwanza hiyo pati ya kutukutukum. You understand?
I get it.
But you see, you know, practice makes perfect because
There's the jam.
I got some jams there. And then remember Nsubi?
Oh,
Nsubi
the
from,
Don.
Don Nsubi.
Don Nsubi.
Once and forever, yo. Bro.
He's from Tanzania.
He's from Tanzania, but we were with Nsubi in Braeburn.
Yes.
You see? So Nsubi...
He loved Tupac.
He loved Tupac. And you know, Nsubi and his brother, he had a brother called Mpoki, but he passed away, you know, rest in peace. Mpoki also loved Tupac, you know. Like Mpoki would rock the bandanas and everything. And even if you look at Nsubi's way of rapping, he was actually emulating Tupac sana, you know. So Nsubi, I told Nsubi, I'm like, come to my place, you know, we can do whatever at any time. You just come through. So he came through with a couple of beats as well. So,
this one you're in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the one who introduced Nsubi to Kenyan Madness. Because I told him, you see, once we do our music, there's this website called Kenyan Madness. And Kenyan Madness, you know, there was like a comment section. So whereby there are those people who would love, and they, of course, there'd be haters and stuff, you know. But yeah, that platform really kept us going. And, you know, having a studio at your disposal was just a plus, you know.
Okay, let's go now to another song. I like that fact that you talked about taking beats and rapping over those beats. Because at that time, we're talking about 2001.
Yes.
There's a musician who comes out by the name of 50 Cent. And you took his song, if I'm not wrong, and did something with it.
Yes.
And I think that got airplay here for the even Mama Malaika or Malaika Mama got some airplay. But this one got a lot of airplay, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it got a lot of airplay because...
So what song was it? Just tell guys about that.
It was called Kwenye Club. You know, when I was in abroad, you know, I used to follow up on these hip-hop documentaries, you know. And like I told you, like, my vision was always clear. I knew that once I'm done with my education, I'm getting into music, and I'm getting into music full force. Whether I'll be accepted, that was kesi ya baadaye. But I knew, you know, in life you have to set targets and you have to work towards those targets. So for me, I used to watch interviews, you know, from 106 and Park. I used to catch this thing called Freestyle Friday. So this was something that was in my blood, you know. So people say, you know, it's not bad to bite as long as you bite with perfection. You know, whatever somebody goes and studies abroad or sees abroad that can be implemented in our country, in our continent, you know, that's the best part about exposure.
Yep.
So for me, by the time I was coming back, you know, I had my mind set up and I said, okay, cool. It's gonna be tricky, but let me do this 50 Cent in the club song, but in Swahili. And then leave people with that suspense. Like, who's this? You know, because when it starts, you think like
It's 50.
It's 50, but you hear, Njoo manzi, tukatike, sogea karibu, tu, you know?
Yep.
So definitely any human being will sit back and say, nani amekopi na nyimbo ya 50 ama, oh man, this is actually tight, you know, like there'd be mixed reactions, but all I wanted was people to talk about me.
Njoo manzi tukatike, sogea karibu tukatike, inua mikono juu tukatike, njoo sogea karibu tukatike. Utanikuta kwa club, karibu na pub, nataka kuwa mdosi, nataka kuwa mfanyakazi, nataka kuwa don, siwezi kuwa kama scrub, mami give me a hug, get in and get rubbed. Utanikuta kwa club, karibu na pub, nataka kuwa mdosi, nataka kuwa mfanyakazi, nataka kuwa don, siwezi kuwa kama scrub, mami give me a hug, get in and get rubbed. Ukiniona kanivo, tani cheki on dubs, ukiniona na dem 69 in the club, nikiwa na Wyre, everybody show me love. Ukitaja CMB enough, but no one else, and that homie ain't nothing chain, guys out bling bling and check your wire kwenye shingo man. Jesus, hawezi compete with a player like me. Walinidunga daga, but I don't walk with a limp. Kwenye hood wanasema kuwa Ngechu you hot. They like me and women, they love me like they love pop. In the streets tonight, wananijua kidogo. Na remix nimeongeza chumvi na Royco. Niko focus bro, kwa nini mnani mind? Got a meal out the deal, na nataka kushine. Na kama, how feel my style, how feel my flow. Na mi si jolly Joe, cause I always do okay. Karibu na pub, nataka kuwa mdosi, kuwa mfanyakazi, nataka kuwa don, siwezi kuwa kama scrub, mami give me a hug, get in and get rubbed. Utanikuta kwa club, karibu na pub, nataka kuwa mdosi, kuwa mfanyakazi, nataka kuwa don, siwezi kuwa kama scrub, mami give me a hug, get in and get
You see,
Yep.
again,
There's nothing like bad PR for you at that time.
there's nothing like bad PR, you know. I did the song, even guys came and told me, oh, you know, 50 is gonna sue you for copyrights. I'm like, mwambieni na kaka Casablanca house number. Because you know
That
how
would be huge.
That would have
That would
been
be promotion like crazy.
Yeah. Na pia kitaka anajua pali naishi. You know what I'm saying? So I put that out.
How was that received?
It was received very well because keep in mind, like 50 had just blown out of proportion
Out of proportion.
at that time. And when he blew
And
out
you were
of,
taking his biggest song at the time.
and I was taking his biggest song at that time. And you see, the fact that my mom is Tanzanian, you know, and me being a wordsmith, I have the best of both worlds. I'm fluent in English and
That's
I'm very
true.
fluent in Swahili. So I carved this kwenye club with both English and Swahili, and it was a masterpiece, you know. So every time, like, you know, on Hits Not Homework, it would be played. and
At this
stuff.
time, have you called yourself Prezo?
At that time, yeah, you know, Prezo, it's Kina, the late Firoz, who called me Prezo. Reason being, like, I used to travel abroad and say, if I buy myself a pair of Timberlands, I'll make sure my whole crew has Timberlands. If I buy myself Calcanized, I'll make sure my whole crew. So that was our vibe, you know. Jewelry, I'm the one who bought my crew cell phones because I never wanted to shine on my own, you know. I wanted us to shine as a team, as a group. That time, you know, getting cell phones was not a walk in the park, you know. But I did whatever possible to make sure that everybody in my crew had a cell phone, everybody in my crew had a pager, you know, and jewelry. So for that reason, you know, like one time the late Firoz said, you know, Mazi, hii squad yetu we ndio president wa hii squad, you see. So them they used to call me Prezo ama Oriaz, you know, but not the outside world,
Yep.
you know. So we had these cards that we had made written CMB, so everybody's title was there on the card. So for me it was president, for Firoz was vice president, you know, and so on and so on and so
Yep.
forth. So that's how the name Prezo was there from the word get-go. But I just never used to use it as publicly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you come back. So you come back around 2003.
Yes.
Or 2002.
I came back at around 2003 mwanzoni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you drop this kwenye club. Tenda kuja kwenye club.
Karibu na pub, nataka kuwa mdos, sitaki kuwa mfanya kazi, nataka kuwa don, siwezi kuwa kama scrub. Mommy give me a hug, get in and get rub.
Nice.
Ukiniona Carnival utanicheki on the ukinicheki na dem 69 in the club nikiwa na CEO, everybody show me love. Ukitaja CMB and how's the winners winning.
Yeah, I get it. So you come, and now is that now when now unaanza kufanya ma radio interviews?
No. So
that song gets played but you're not being called?
No, I'm not being called. I think one of the DJs who was doing their thing, either that or they took, you know, a lot of people used to take content from Kenyan Madness. So many people used to do that.
Yeah.
So I would hear this song being played, but nobody knows of me.
Oh, I get.
You see? So I got this first interview at at KBC, you know, and I think the lady was called Mwanaisha or some, I can't remember, but she was my mom's friend, and her show was early in the morning at 6, you know. So my mom told me, get ready, you know, tomorrow there's an interview at 6 in the morning. So I'm thinking at 6, Maze, which one of my boys will be up at that time, you know? But I said, hey, it's an opportunity. So I was like, cool, no problem. This is my first interview.
And your mom is cool with you for your music now?
She's the one who set it up for me.
Yo.
Yeah.
Your song will work.
Yeah, it worked like magic, bro. She set it up for me. So when I went for this interview, it was early in the morning. So this lady goes like, naam, barabara kabisa, tuko na mwanamuziki shupavu sana, mwanamuziki ambaye atatuelezea mengi kumhusu. Na that time, bro, I have zero interview skills. Yeah. The only skills I had was my autograph penmanship. You know, that's it. So she goes like, naam, barabara kabisa, karibu kwenye show. I'm like, asante sana, habari asubuhi. She goes like, nzuri sana. Kwanza tuambie kwa majina yako ya stage ni nani? I started hearing crickets, you know. I'm like, hey, should I say Jackson J? Should I say J Speaks? You know, and there's always something in a brand, you know. And then nikiwa nakuja hivi kina Firoz were like, Oriaz mazi leo utawakilisha Oriaz. I was like, yeah, my stage name is, you know, Prezo. It's the short form for president. She's like, oh, okay. Kwa hiyo yani we ni rais? Nikamwambia mimi ni rais. We ni rais wa nchi gani? Nikamwambia rais wa CMB.
Oh, nice.
That was the stamp. I went there without any preparation, nothing, you know. But I said, mini rais wa CMB. Since that day now, that CMB is when now it's stuck proper, you know, because wherever we'd go, wherever we'd be selling, it's CMB, you see. So one time when I had the Naleta action,